Hi, I'm Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio. Today is another How Would You Quilt This video. I purchased this quilt top this past weekend at a antique mall, and it is a 1930s hexagon quilt. Okay, if we wanted to do something using lines on this, just straight lines, we could do just an outline of each one of these sections, and we could do like this on each ring here. And it would be fairly simple. It would take a little bit of time if you're using a ruler, but it really wouldn't be too bad. And I'm going to show you a trick that I use when I'm doing things like this and I don't want to stop and start in each ring. When I get to, say I'm coming around here and I get to here and I want to get up to this ring, I will stitch in the ditch and then go around. Now I would probably stitch in the ditch to this one and then go around too, and that way you don't have to stop and start. And you know, that's pretty simple. And go around. And let's see, we can see this one here pretty well. And this one you could do also a continuous, kind of like you would do a Greek key. And just go around. Make them as wide or as narrow as you want. Like that. You could also do a serpentine stitch. And just go around, follow up to the next, and you can do it across the seams, though I would probably do a little narrower one than this. Or if you want, you could do it right through the center of these, as well as, I think I would probably do it in the center as well as on the edges. Go up. Depends on how much time you want to put into the quilt. When it's my own, I don't mind putting extra time in it. If it's a customer quilt, it depends on what the customer wants. Like if you wanted to do a feather in here, you could start with a, what is this called? An oval, a pointed oval like a feather, and then you could build your feathers up from here. And then I would travel back down and come here. And make that a little bit bigger. I'd probably do this one last. And I think that looks real pretty. And for the center in here, I probably would do another spiral. Okay. Another design would be continuous curve. And we could start in the middle and just go around the inner hexagon and come up and go around each ring. And you can make these curves as deep as you want or as shallow. Go again. Like that, gives you a spider web. Now this is a large it's a large piece, so I would make those pretty wide, and you could double this up here, or you could fill this. This would lend itself to feathers, and you could just quilt in some feathers. And just do that all the way around. However you want them to flow. like this one, you could do them continuous all the way around, or you could have them going up and then flat at the bottom. It's kind of all depends on you and what you like. Since this point is also a point of each one of these, you know, you might want to take that into consideration. You could also put another narrow here, a narrow line, and then fill this with circles. If you're a circle fan. Some people like circles, some people don't. Doing the continuous curve gave me an idea. I want to do a point in the center here. This is just to mark my point, and then I'm going to do flower petals going out to each one of these seams here. And you can make these pointed if you want instead of round. And I want to do more continuous curve, but I want to overlap them and make an egg and dart pattern. Come up in the ditch and then go this direction. It's going to have a different look because your sides aren't even. You've got, this is very narrow, this is wider, and so it's going to look a little bit different. Oops, okay, just go this way. And depending on how deep you make your curves, you can have a different look. And I'll go up in the ditch. But this would be a design that would be continuous. And you could do this all these rings without stopping or starting. And you could use your templates if you have them, or you could draw this on beforehand, or you could just freehand it. There you go, and that fills that up. It would be really quick, and I think it's real pretty. Okay, if you want to do feathers here inside, I would let's see, I would probably start here, and I would do a feather in the center. And forgive my voice, I'm fighting a cold here. And then for this section here, I think I would like to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the seam line as the spine of my feather. But I want to separate a feather here from this here. So in this section, I think I would go ahead and do something linear to separate the two feathers. I think it'll give a more pleasing design. And then I'm going to use the seam as the spine, and go all the way around to come up and fill. And then I would bounce back here, and then go this direction. Now when your feathers are going out towards the points, they will fill in a little bit better than they coming in here. You have kind of these gaps right here, which you can bring this, the base of this feather all the way around, but you probably won't see that very much in the quilt when you're done. So it's really not that big of a deal. And then you're getting a feather wreath here. And then part of the work is done for you because you don't have to draw your spine. If you're one who likes to draw the spines, which I do, I usually will draw my spine first and then quilt it when I'm doing a feather wreath. But a lot of people make gorgeous feathers and they don't draw the spine. They're so good at getting the tails of their feathers to meet that you don't even notice that they don't have a spine. They're very talented. So here we go. Let's look at this star point here. If I did a 1/4 inch outline and just did it 2 or 3 times, that's not very good. Let's erase that. You can leave it just like that. Or you could add something in here. And if you wanted to do a feather, you could add a feather in here. I'm going to kind of give myself some guidelines here. And what I would do would be to chalk in my center spine before I started quilting, so I know where the center is. I would actually draw a line. I would draw a line from the point to the center down here. Okay, so what if we want to subdivide this again? This is an equilateral triangle, so this would be easy to divide into 3, and you could just draw another, or quilt another triangle in here, like this. And then you could do a different design in each section, or you could just do something in the 3 outer and leave this one blank. But if we wanted to do, let's see, let's just do maybe 2 lines in there, and then we'll do 2 in here. Follow along the ditch, come down, and do 2 down here. Do something like that, and then you can even come in here and do another triangle in there. If you wanted something real geometric, this would be a nice modern design. Try another design where we divide this into 3 triangles. And what if we did a continuous curve all the way around? This would be a design that you could do that isn't directional. And then if you wanted to do something in the center, you could either do more continuous curve, or you could fill this with pebbles too. The little circles, large or small, whatever combination you want. And let's see what continuous curve would look like in there. Or you could do that. And then that fills the space up pretty well. And if you want to do more subdividing, let's do some line dancing. If we, I'm going to put a center point in each one of these. And I'm going to just do a single loop and see what that looks like. And you make the tips of your loops as large or small as you want. You have to come about it the same right direction though. Here we go. Come through. Something like that, and you wouldn't have to necessarily draw or quilt this line here. You could leave that open. Just draw it on there so that you have a guideline there. Okay, what if we want to do some line dancing but not segment this? You probably need something that would fill it a little bit better than this, so I would probably do more of a swirl. And then come in another swirl. That gives it a different look. So I think that's about all I can come up with at the moment. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and thanks for watching.